Welcome to Positive Moments with Andrew and Don.
Let everything go.
That was such a life-changing experience.
It's a way of life, it's a way of being, it's a way of thinking, it is mind management.
It inspires me to know that there's more to learn every single day.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Positive Moments with Andrew and Don, episode 5. Today we have a young gentleman with us, very positive individual. And before I tell you his name, I just want to give you all a little background on this individual. Born in South Trinidad and Tobago, currently a secondary school student, but a very unique sport has become his way of life. That so-called unique sport is my way of life also. So I'd like to introduce to you all Simeon Duncan. Simeon is a very positive individual, extremely focused. And he is going to tell his story on how living a positive life has allowed him to reach where he is at 17 years old today. Simeon, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. You know, Simeon, 17 years old, sailing has become a way of your life, secondary school. It's been a real honor to be around you and look at you grow and look at you listen. You listen really well. The endless people that I have come across with what we do down in Destiny that don't have this gift that you do. And I believe listening is a gift. Being open-minded is a gift. But we all have the opportunity to learn how to listen, how to be open-minded. But how did you get this strong trait of learning to listen and be open-minded? And where did all this come from, in your opinion?
My opinion is my mother. My mother is a lady. She tends to make you get into the habit of doing something. And in order to do that, she'll tell you listen more and talk after. So that.
Strong leadership content. So if I was to ask you, where do you live? What would you say?
I would say I live San Juan.
Where else do you live? This is an interesting question I have for you.
Where I live? On the water. That's what I would say.
If I was to ask you, where do you live inside of you? What would you say?
That's a tricky question. Inside. In what aspect you're talking about?
Inside of you. In the world that exists when you close your eyes. Where do you live?
I would say inside.
Inside you. Well, I want to share something with you and with everybody. I believe the truest place to live while on this planet is inside your heart. And Simeon, I believe you live inside your heart. Your passion for sailing, your passion for your studies, your passion for life. And Don's going to give us a real unique twist on the word heart. But before he goes there, Simeon, do you feel that you live inside your heart?
Sure.
Do you feel passionate about life? Do you feel driven?
Yeah, sure.
Take us to the world of heart, Don. Take us to that world.
Well, I met Simeon as well in the water. You know, when I ventured from my heart to actually get into the water, I said, no way, I'm going in that water with Andrew. But I did it. And what was interesting, I mean, some other youths as well, and Simeon is obviously very passionate about what he's doing. And when we talk about passion, we talk about heart. And that heart, H-E-A-R-T, when you find what you're good at and you do it from your heart, you find what you really like and do it from your heart, heart has the same letters like earth. Like Andrew, you have sailing in your heart. So it has taken you now, a 3-time Olympian, around the earth, which is very important. And Duncan is really a positive guy from what I remember him, you know, in the water as. And of course, there'll be some shots, maybe as the show goes on, of Duncan actually in the water, even though we're not at Destiny. But what I can tell you is this, even by virtue of his name, Simeon Duncan. And when I hear Duncan, I say, yeah, well, Duncan. And that was my motivation to know that I could actually get inside of the water. And Simeon, it's good to see you smile. It's good to have you here with us on Positive Moments, our fifth episode. Simeon, you know, as you came, you made a little journey with me to actually get to here to our studio, our Positive Moments studio. Simeon, you to get into sailing is not what some would say a normal thing. And I want you just to take us a little bit. How did Simeon Duncan get to sail and better yet to enjoy it, to discover that, hey, I really have a passion in my heart that I'm willing to show the earth about sailing? How did Simeon Duncan get into sailing?
Well, I got into sailing, same thing by my mom. She woke up early a Saturday morning to actually go on the beach and pray. And me at that time, I didn't want to do it. But somehow, I still ended up going with her. And I saw, when we arrived at the beach, I saw all these boats lined up. And I was drawn to it. I don't know how, but... And then after that Saturday, the following Saturday, everything after that was history.
Wow. So that's like, so one Saturday and then next Saturday, you're in one of those boats? Was it easy? Did you find it difficult? Because you have to learn about, I mean, I hear Andrew use this thing in the water called tack. And when I got into the boat, I thought it was attack because it was, that thing kept moving. You had to keep ducking below that sail and, you know what I mean, water all how, right? But for you, what was the experience like getting into one of those? First time you obviously would have been in a boat like that. That special kind of little, I ain't sure the right word is a boat, you know what I mean? But to get inside of it, that little boat, and then to have to navigate it and then being able to do it by yourself. What was that like? And I know Andrew being a fantastic teacher, just from him sharing his information, what was the experience like?
The experience was, it wasn't a bad experience. I mean, first time trying it, you'll be frightened. But after a while, you'll get more comfortable, you know, more in your comfort zone. And when you keep doing it over and over, it's like I love it.
Wow. So going into this little boat, and then there's some rules because life has different rules. Even there are rules on the road and there are rules also in the water. And there's certain things that you had to follow to do. Tell us what was some of the first things that you learned? I know Andrew's going to get into it in a little while, but what did you have to learn in terms of the sport? Because sport has a discipline aspect here too. And you have to be disciplined sufficiently to sit in the boat and do the things to get you moving the way you're supposed to go. What was that discipline like? What was the discipline of the sport?
I mean, you have to learn the boat first before you'll be able to control the boat. It was a tough experience because first you had to learn how to, you know, rig the sail, rig the boat as well. So, and it wasn't you just went on a big boat. You had to learn from small stages. So, it was, it had rules you had to learn. It had some rules you wouldn't follow because you don't know as yet. But eventually, yeah, and that was it.
No, when I listened to you learning to sail, I wasn't born a sailor. You weren't born a sailor, neither was Don, because Don is a quick learner when he went sailing. But what we must understand and look at is the positive outlook on learning something really allowed you from being your coach at times to learn so fast. Do you agree that having an open mind to listen and to take in the information could help you learn faster?
Yeah, it actually does.
Yeah, in what way? How do you feel that makes you learn faster?
Because, when you talk more, you won't be able to listen. And listening is a skill, right? So, when I was out on the water and he said tack, I would tack. But if you answer him back, you wouldn't be able to learn properly. So that is how I look at listening.
So I see you becoming a good listener so that you can learn faster. But where that really takes you in life is much more than sailing. I see you wanting to become a good student beyond secondary school. Has sailing impacted the way you learn in school, in life on the whole?
Most definitely. I think it impacted me well because it was something I learned over the years of sailing. Because in the classroom, I wasn't actually a good listener at start.
You know, it's interesting to hear you say that, Simeon, because a lot of youngsters at your age, and then, you know, you would have been 15, 16, now 17, some of them not focused. And if I'm hearing correctly, your experience in the water has allowed you to focus a lot better, you know, and did you make some friends as well, to a lot of friends in the water? And so was it, you know, what can you tell me in terms of the friends that you've made? Do they have a like passion, or you see some of them, they're just there for the fun, or they're just there to really like you, to try and take this sailing? Do you see, let me just ask you quickly, do you see yourself going to an Olympics to represent Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah.
How soon do you think that's going to happen? Andrew's getting kind of, well, young at heart. I can't say old, but young at heart. How soon do you see that happening?
Maybe the next Olympics.
Wow. So this is after Tokyo, wherever it's after
Tokyo.
So you could see yourself going there quickly? Wow.
And, you know, in everything that we do, there's a process, there's a pathway. What is your take on your pathway to success in anything? How do you create your pathway to success? Because you've gotten here somehow.
Yeah.
You know, and when I look at you on the water and you lose, you're really upset because of your passion. You really want to win. I see this desire inside of you to everybody else around you must be in second. You come there to learn, you come there to win, you come there to do your best. And one of the things I love the most about you, Simeon, is your sportsmanship on the water and your sportsmanship on the land still come from a place of respect, love, and passion. And while you are a quiet guy, that's okay. I think maybe that's how come you've excelled so much, because you're so good at listening. I see you as a much more than just an Olympian. What would you like to study after sailing?
After sailing.
Or during sailing, I should say.
Well, yeah, most likely during sailing, I would like to go after Form 6. I want to study medicine.
Medicine, to become a doctor. So, wow, so we look at it as Dr. Simeon Duncan.
Ooh, I could hear it already.
What do you have the DR? What do you have for me with DR?
Yeah, that's doctor.
Yeah, what else?
No, but I think the DR for me is what you decide to do right.
Wow.
And this is a young man who we could tell even from now, he is willing to do what is right. Because there are many youngsters, Simeon, outside there who are finding themselves in all sorts of situations and then realizing that choices have consequences. Simeon, if you had to just look to the camera, any one of those two cameras that you could probably choose, right? And decide, you want to talk to a youngster and say to that youngster, hey, find your part in life. Find the way you could go. It might not be sailing like me, but find it. What would you do to encourage a youngster right now? I'm just curious to know, how are you looking at youngsters outside there, fellas your age, who some of them determined, and young ladies too, sadly, you know, to go the wrong path? What would you say to encourage them?
I would say, at this point in my life, where I've learned a lot. I mean, most of my strength came from God. It wasn't from just me being here. So I would tell them, try to turn to God first, and then find their path.
Find their path, because most likely talking about they having a purpose, a God-given purpose, as it were.
You know, Simeon, that's a very important topic what Don has just touched on there. What's happening around us in this world? It's a lot of craziness. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of challenging situations around you in school, in sailing, in life, a lot of bad examples, a lot of good examples. You know, when you're put in a really challenging position, do you just pray, or do you just separate yourself from it? Or what is your way of staying safe, staying positive, staying smart? What do you do?
There's a lot of things I try to do, because not all the time I'll do it, but sometimes I'll try to pray. Sometimes all you have to do is, take your mind off it sometimes. not try to study it too much. Because being positive is a mindset. So all these bad energies it have, that could just destroy your whole, thought process. So
if you're in school and some boys are, I don't know, doing some drugs or something, I say, Simeon, come with us. What is your response?
response, I would just shake my head. Because sometimes peer pressure is a big thing in school, where they feel the need to do this or be involved in this. But sometimes all I had to tell them no. Just so, no explanation, anything. Just tell them no. And you separate yourself from that company.
Wow. Andrew, I love that answer, because I'll tell you, sometimes you really have to say no. And I'm just going to point out for those who are looking on, there's something you don't know about the word no. There are 4 natural words. If you lay out the alphabet A to Z, and you expect this from the word man. So the first word is A. The second word is hi. The next one is I. And the next word is no. So no is actually a very positive word, because you have to know when to say no, especially with all the influences outside there. There are times, youngsters, you have to say no. And as Simeon said, you don't have to have an explanation for that, because I know who I am. And I know if I make this particular choice, it will take me down a wrong road. And Simeon, I mean, it's really a joy for us. And that's why we have you on Positive Moments, because we really see you being an inspiration to the other young people outside there. You got into a sport that is not what the average, you might think, Trinidad might get into at a young age like you. But guess what? You're there and you're thriving and you're doing well. If you had to recount, Simeon, in your little journey so far, whether it's 4 or 5 years in the water, what is the most memorable thing for you when you hit that Destiny Beach? All the Destiny experiences you would have had. What's the most memorable thing for you? When you think about Destiny, I know there's a particular moment that I will not forget, because that moment meant this to me or it meant that to me. What was that moment? And tell us a little bit of the effects of that moment on you.
That moment would be winning my first race. Yeah, that would be my best moment.
Did you beat Andrew?
No, not in that race.
But you beat him in some other races?
No, we never really had no competition. So,
As yet.
As yet.
Well, tell me about winning that first race. What was winning that first race like?
I mean, because when you now start, you only be losing. But it's that strive you have. And when I won my first race, it was a close race, but I won.
How did it make you feel?
Make you feel amazing, It actually makes you be aware that you're learning. So, me winning my first race, I know I'm getting somewhere, and I just here for nothing.
Progress. And as we progress in life, because we're here for that, all of us, every one of us wants to progress in life. One of the things, Don, I want you to touch on this a little bit from your personal experiences. As we all try to progress, peer pressure really, really could be a huge dampener on one's progress. How do you, even with all the experience you have today, Don, how do you stay focused without the peer pressure taking you left, right, and center?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me just clarify for some folks, because peer pressure can both be positive and negative. Because you can have people influencing you to do the right thing, and which you need and you welcome, as in Simeon's case, or you could have other people trying to tell you to go down a wrong road. And I want to come back to that word progress, Andrew, because progress for me, that ESS in progress, is the same with process, success, and greatness. They all have the ESS at the end of it, which means everybody has to start somewhere. So if you're willing to endure the process, because life is that, it's a process, there will be progress. Consistent progress will lead to success. And that's when you go deep down and you bring out the greatness inside of you and inside of all of us, because we all have that greatness in us. So we want to progress. We want to be better than we were the day before. We don't want to compete against somebody, but we want to be able to complete our journey. And who knows, Andrew, in the process, like you, help other people complete their journey. And Andrew, maybe on the screen at some point, they will show that not only has Simeon benefited, but there's so many youngsters, Andrew, I look at some of the shots that you put up on your Instagram and so. I mean, I look forward to them, and I see the Republic because Republic sponsors it, and I see the sails and so blowing all their buntings and so blowing in the sky. But more than that, I see young people coming to recognize their dreams. And the power to progress in life is the power to be able to keep a dream and to keep that dream foremost in your mind and to know that you can achieve. So very important, Andrew. I mean, I want to encourage you personally to continue to provide the opportunities for people like Simeon and others who didn't think they could get into a sport or sport at all, and then to find a unique sport, but that unique sport helping them to find what is unique about them. And there's some things unique about you, Simeon, as you are discovering. There's some things unique about you. And even when you talk about winning that first race, I now see myself as a winner, as a loser, not a doubter, but a believer. You know, that maybe I could win another race too. And maybe I could actually have fun doing this. You know, so I think it's very, very important that initiatives like the sailing camp, Andrew, be continued, not just for today. And who knows, you might get a beach, somebody might give you a piece of land somewhere close to where we are now. And you'll be able to start the dream not only in one part of Trinidad. And Andrew, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit because spot backwards is tops and you'll come out tops, right? But Andrew, how does it make you feel to hear a youngster who's sitting down next to you now? And this youngster is telling you that this dream that you had, Andrew, for our young people in the nation, how does it make you feel, Andrew? That's going to turn the spotlight on you, Andrew.
You know, just like Simeon expressed about his mom and how much she's affected him, I've also had, gratefully, parents who had a great effect on me. Mom and dad for sure. And this actual sailing school that Simeon is a product of, and I don't put Simeon as a product with a price tag because we're all priceless. Yes. But you are a true testimony of what the sailing school has done for many individuals. This was actually a vision of my father's that I inherited and amplified because he always believed that not only sailing is a sport for everybody, more importantly, the ocean belongs to all of us. And here in Trinidad and Tobago, we don't utilize our ocean like we could. As a matter of fact, there are a massive amount of the population that are scared of the ocean. But in my opinion, the ocean is better than the land. If you get to learn how to respect it, work with it, and enjoy it. And this is the real important part about what happens down on Destiny Beach and what is going to happen on that vision of more to come for the sport of sailing through the Andrew Sailing Foundation, is that we always wanted to not only give everybody a fair chance to continue sailing for next to nothing in most cases, but sailing could provide a way of life, a way of living. I still believe in that, and I believe for the rest of my life, I'll believe in that. No matter if you come out an Olympian or just went through the course and learned to sail and swim. In the end of the day, if you look at the boat, the sail, the rudder, the daggerboard, the parts of it, it will not work without your control. It's all there for you, a sail, a rudder, daggerboard, and a boat. If you don't sit in it and take control of it, working with Mother Nature, the wind, the waves, and the current, it will just continue to flap and you'll drift into the rocks. A lot of people drift away with life. They don't take control of it. Simeon lives in Sawa, travels all the way down to Destiny Beach every time there is training going on. I've never had a camp without him there. He doesn't miss. This is a long journey. This takes passion, this takes drive, this takes determination. He decided to grab his rudder, grab his sail, and take control of it because he has given the opportunity to. I see it happening all around me of people who have it right in front of their face here, and even in the sailing school, that don't grab life by its hands and take it. So while this sailing school, we always have the dream to produce an Olympian or two or three or many from it. The real goal and vision is to provide human beings with a way of life through sailing. And I never expected it to do what it does. But we have many people who've entered amazing jobs around the country. Some are now in the army, some in education. It's been in existence for over 15 years. So while as you spoke about at the start, it was all from the love of the heart and the passion, it really is all about seeing what happens through love. Seeing what happens when you put passion into something. There's no expectation for money, there's no expectation for any sort of success, but to just do our best and show that love for creating opportunities for others.
Andrew, such an interesting perspective, because as you're speaking, I'm getting inspired. And so interesting that I mean, we're all going to smile when I say this now, is that it's important to have goals in life. And Andrew, the success that you're experiencing, not only in representing Trinidad and Tobago, but for me, the biggest success is giving back to Trinidad and Tobago. And Andrew, those goals I'm seeing where you need to go, and then the ALS. So the goals, the go, and then ALS is Andrew Lewis Sailing. So the goals there, just has it, just makes me wonder if we don't achieve because we don't have goals in life. Because some people are just like the plant, they go how the breeze blow. But we're not a plant, we could move, we're not a tree, we could get somewhere, we could leave from where we planted. We could get to somewhere else. And Andrew, part of that too is having a mindset that we're not to have a victim mentality, but we are to be victors, because life has ups and downs, or downs and ups, whichever way you look at it. But every mountain has a valley and every valley has a mountain. What do? They give a V, and that's where you get your victory from all the ups and downs. When you're in the hospital, Andrew, as you would have experienced with your accident, they don't want to see a straight line. They want to see the up and down. That says that life is happening, and that's a reflection of life. And have you had any moments in your life, Simeon, when you felt, hey, maybe I couldn't go on, but I need to? Or maybe what you tell us about, because we're talking about the good times in the water and so, but have you had any challenges as a young people? What challenges you as a young person you have to get over it? What challenges you?
Challenges. Some of the challenges is, I would say, my biggest one would be school. Trying to be, on top and then managing sailing at the same time. So I think management will be my most challenging thing. Yeah.
Wow. So it's not so much the time, Andrew, that we have, but it's what we do with the time. Because to actually balance, and then when they say Vestini, to leave Samoa and then have to go to Vestini, and then you have your assignments to do, your SBAs and your whatever things that they have in school now, right? That must be challenging. So if I'm hearing correctly, you must have some balance. How do you manage that challenge? How do you overcome that challenge?
Sometimes I sleep less and work more. So sometimes all 12 o'clock in night I up doing work and then waking up early to go sailing on Saturday morning. So that is how I try to manage my time. I mean, try not to overdo it because you can't do nothing without sleep. So,
Simeon, what do you really want in life? Really, really want?
I want to inspire.
So you're saying you want to blaze a trail for others to be inspired by?
Exactly.
How you want to do that?
I want to do it by, how other people look at certain things. If you can do it, then I could do it. So if I do it, then somebody might look at me and say, I can't do it.
Andrew, I think that's I gotta get bunks on this side too, because that's real powerful. Because I like that, Andrew. Let's just pause to get at him. If you can do it, somebody's watching now to be inspired. If you can do it, I can do it too. So we really and truly, Andrew, should be looking for moments where we could be used as an inspiration, because we don't know who is looking up at us or looking at us in what we do, how we overcome the situations we deal with. I mean, I always say life, you have a trial, but if you use the same letters, your trial could actually make a trail for other people to follow. And I have no doubt, Simeon, that you're going to leave a trail for other people to follow. to follow you in your footsteps. I want you to picture this moment for a second. So we just pause for a cause, not just because. You're coming off a plane, Simeon, and you're back from Tokyo. You're back from Tokyo, and there's a lot of excitement. And your manager comes to you and says, are you ready for this? Because we believe there isn't a dry eye. We believe there isn't a person who isn't in the airport, right? And then you walk out in the airport, and then you hear somebody an announcement. So an announcement being made. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, our Olympic gold medal athlete for the sport of sailing, Olympics, and they call it here. Ladies and gentlemen, and the crowd said, they go, you're hearing that kind of stadium effect. Simeon, and you walk out. You walk out, and then you're going, and then the crowd just says, they start to clap, because here comes Simeon Duncan, representing Trinidad and Tobago. And you start to speak, and you can't help but remember, there was a year when I started off just with getting this boat in the water in Vesini. How you think you're going to feel, Simeon, to experience something like that?
I think I might cry. Yeah.
I feel you're going to cry. And by the way, we want that for Andrew too. When Andrew comes back from Tokyo, we want a moment where all of Trinidad and Tobago says, hey, what, he didn't just go to compete, but he's coming back with some hard, some hard metal, this. That's going to make us all feel proud. And you could imagine all the youngsters looking on. I went to Vesini camp. I know him. I was in Vesini camp. You can imagine the excitement. And you could see Republic Bank going, yeah, we're the one for you. That's it. They said, that's the right start. That's the real. But that's a moment that we all live for. There's no guarantee. But the possibility of that happening, it's very possible for Andrew and Simeon. It's very possible for you as well too. And Simeon, I'm just so excited about what the future can hold for you. The future holds for you. And the fact that you are so positive and listen and silent. Somebody listening needs to know this. Listen and silent have the same letters. When you listen, you need to be silent. Too many people, they listen, but they're not silent. So they only hear themselves. You're not listening to what is being said to you. And what is being said to you today, Simeon, is that Andrew Lewis and Don Lafoucauld, we believe in you, Simeon. That's why we invited you here. We believe in you. And we hope in our different ways to be an inspiration to you. But we know that you too would want to be an inspiration for other people.
And as we talk about Simeon here and look at youth, Simeon, all you have is now. You don't have yesterday, you don't have tomorrow. All you have is now. The most positive thing I believe anybody could possibly do is love and use their now to their best effect. You could have said, Andrew, I don't feel to come here today. I want to go and line with the boys or play, or there was a possibility of you choosing that. But you decided to come here and be with us here now. And while you have a lot of youth on your hands, I want to flip the script a little bit and, show some love for my brother Don. Because when I look at Simeon and I look at you, Don, you are still extremely young. Extremely young. And you're extremely vibrant, Don. Because Simeon thus far has been the youngest guest we have had. But it just so happens throughout the whole show I've been looking Simeon looking at you, Simeon looking at you. And I see, Don, it's very important for us because we celebrate the youth a lot. But there are endless amazing examples of it's never too late to start. I'm not saying that you ever stopped, but Don, I really want to celebrate you because you're sitting on the show here with me. We've been doing this, we've been knowing each other since it feels like before 2015. But at the same time, you just continue to inspire me, and I'm sure Simeon also, that no matter what, we must stay positive. We must find, once your heart is alive, you can. Do you feel, Simeon, that Don is a positive fella?
Yeah,
Very positive fella?
very positive.
That he knows he has a purpose here?
Yeah,
And that he's living his purpose while being here? No matter what he goes through, he's still here? And I say the word here is because you are actually here with us. Some people may be sitting here, but they're not here with us. You're here with us. Simeon is here with us. I'm here with you all. And so to everybody who is experiencing that, our youngest guest this far, Don and I are separated by just a couple of years, but it's almost as if we're separated by nothing. We are human beings. All three of us are human beings. We brought a lovely line of positivity to the show today, and we will continue to bring it every single time. And as I feel this positive moment with you all, don't ever look at age, race, creed, religion, background, or anything. None of those ever align with the word positivity. Because heartbeat is positivity. If you ever see someone, their heart is beating, it's like this. It's alive. When you're no longer alive, it's like this. And you know what that is. So as we feel through positivity, as we feel this audience here, because we are an audience also to life. Yes, we are hosts, but we are audiences to life. We're here to learn. We're here to feel. Don't ever get confused by age. You know what I mean, Don? You know what I mean, Simeon? You could feel that? So while you have all this youth and spirit inside of you, and you have all this youth and spirit inside of you, I love when people say that your age and they are the young at the end. Because it's just a power of choice.
Yeah. I could so identify with you because I'm hearing you speak there, Andrew, and for me, this is just about being purpose-driven. And your purpose, people say, Don, you still look young, you're dead, you still look so young. And I say, because of purpose. I do get tired. I do get tired, but the truth is, am I living my purpose every day? So I take the word tired, as you know I'm going to do already in just 2 seconds. I take the word tired and ask myself, have I tried hard enough? Have I tried to create a positive moment? So that there are more positive moments later on. And every single day I get up, situations around me may not be exactly positive, but I still want to learn from them. I'm still learning and growing. None of us have arrived. And I think the fact that we understand that none of us have arrived, we make mistakes, we have to get up, dust up, and we try to go again, it's going to be a next positive moment, opportunity for another positive moment. We're not going to give up. That's why, to me, I love the word hope. And this program, in this time, even of a pandemic, is all about offering hope. And that hope for us, Andrew, is helping other people every day. There's having, that hope, you have an OP and opportunity inside of it too. So there are more opportunities for the Simeons of this world. There are more opportunities for us to go out there and to be and do. Did we think we'd see a season 2? Now we're on to episode here right now, episode 5 in season 2. And we have to thank those, we sometimes discredit the corporate world. We have a particular example, a bank. We might say that a bank is just there, they're making profits and the interest. But guess what? They actually are giving back. And we are very grateful to Republic Bank for actually, and they support your camp as well. They support the vision. They've always joined us, even individually and together, at Positive Moments, to support the vision. And that's something we don't take for granted. Some people, the only time they see the word vision is when they end up in division. You know what I mean? But we want people to keep the vision and to know that we have positive youths among us. We have youths, in spite of what they're going through, like other young people, they're trying to make a difference in the world. And that's why we will encourage the Simeons and anybody else. If you think, for example, that you know someone who can actually be a guest on Positive Moments, I want to encourage you to get on to us, email us, andrewandonlive@gmail.com, or we have a YouTube channel, Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. And please do visit our YouTube channel, Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. The first season, we have 16 webinars there. And let me tell you, you can go to any one of those webinars, and there's some positivity. And we're putting the positivity outside there, Andrew. You're putting the positivity in Destiny and wherever, in Cocorite and wherever, Andrew. You're putting positivity outside there. And let me tell you, there's going to be a great return. I mean, the same way this program might end soon, and we're going to return with program number 6. But there's a great return when we invest and we sow. There's a time to sow, right? And there's a time to reap. Some people expect to sow. You're not going to reap anything if you just sow and get something immediately out of it. Andrew, you did not get where you... by just saying, I'm just going to go to... No, you have to sow in some hours. You have to give up a career in the corporate world, in a sense, and to say, I'm going to spend my time in the water. Let the corporate world pay for that time in the water now. And who knows, one day I could be an Olympic athlete. And one day I could inspire youngsters like Simeon, to be all that they could be. And I mean, we have to say, we are really, really grateful for this opportunity that we've been given, this platform that we've been allowed. It is now evolving. We now have a little backdrop and thing. And you see sign and thing. For those who are watching, you didn't see positive moments before. You experienced it, but you didn't see it. So you have to see it now and experience it. And we want all of you to see and to experience the greatness that's inside of you. Don't ever settle for less. There's greatness inside of every single one of us. And every day we get up, it's another chance to go at it. If you fall on your back, try and look up. If you could look up, you could get up. And some of you just need to get up to decide, here what? This is my moment to make a positive moment. And guess what? You could even be part of positive moments with Andrew and Don.
Beautiful. So as we close up here with Mr. Simeon Duncan and really positive young youth, don't, as I say, don't watch this young boy slight. He is a visionary, he's a hard worker, and he is a listener. I myself am inspired by the way he listens. Because when I coach him and mentor him, I see a reciprocation of just passion and desire to succeed. I myself want to become a better listener, and I will spend the rest of my life learning how to listen. Because every message that comes from somebody comes differently. We must remember that. There's no message coming from anybody that is the same. So as we learn to listen in different ways, love in different ways, we'll ask Simeon to just say, what is your closing moment to what does positivity mean to you at 17 years old in your life?
Positivity to me, it means not just doing good. It's about your actions as well. Because you could just smile and it has a domino effect. Sometimes you're walking around and smile at somebody, and when they go, they smile at someone else. And that creates positivity around. So it's just about the doing and not just saying. Because sometimes we say certain things and then we don't do them. So it's all about the action.
Wow, that's powerful. And that's a lesson for all of us. It's not just what we say, but what we do. And one of the things that we could do is certainly smile. And I like that word smile, because if you put the S on the other end, it could go for miles. So we trust that whatever you've learned from this program, whatever has inspired you, that it will go for miles, not necessarily in distance, but in your heart. It will go around and around and make that journey to help you become all that you can be. That's what we're trying to do, to be all that we can be every single day.
So as we wrap up another amazing positive moment with Andrew and Don, I just want to thank you all for joining us. Continue to send all the positive moments that you want to our social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We're going to continue to bring it. It's up to you if you want to decide to receive it. And it's going to be there for free and unlimited watches and shares as much as you want. So I want to thank everybody for joining us here today, having young Simeon Duncan. Simeon, I really want to thank you for making the journey here today to come and spend this positivity with us, to experience really and truly what an environment of positivity could do for one. I feel that you're going to leave here more inspired. Do you feel like that?
Sure.
I mean, you are a very positive young man by itself, by nature. But as we end, I just want to say, keep going, don't give up. It's not going to be easy. Olympic journey, studying medicine, traveling around the world, all that you desire, that domino effect that you want to create for your life of success and your life of giving back and your life of becoming a trailblazer, a legend for our country, because you have it inside of you. I could see it inside of you. You just keep going, brother. Just keep hiking hard, keep pushing. And that what you said there earlier, someone take you on the wrong road, sorry, no. And I'll be honest with you, I never realized until today the positivity of the word no. So I myself am learning too. And I'm really grateful for that. So Simeon, thank you for inspiring and encouraging me, because what we've just created here has inspired me to continue being the best version of myself. And I will let my brother Don Lafoucault close the show.
Well, as you talk about the positivity of the word no, No has all the ingredients to move on. O and an N. And folks, we have to move on to the next episode. We have to move on in life. Certainly something that you would have watched here today would have touched your heart. And if it touched your heart, we want you to go and share it with another heart outside there. That's how the positivity continues, and you realize that it was time well spent with Andrew and Don and Simeon on Positive Moments. See you again.